In the quiet echo of a summer announcement, amid a year crowded by royal transitions and global scrutiny, a single honor was bestowed, one that passed without the thunder of headlines, but with deep and resonant symbolism. Sir Timothy Laurence, husband to Princess Anne and lifelong servant to the Crown, was named Knight Grand Cross of the Royal Victorian Order. To the outside world, it may seem a ceremonial flourish, a ribbon and star pinned on a man whose name rarely graces the tabloids. But for those who understand the coded language of monarchy, this title speaks volumes. Before we dive in, there's something I need to share with you. Over the past few days, thousands have watched these stories unfold, but most haven't subscribed. If you're one of them, I invite you now to join us. Subscribe to Crownverse so you never miss the next chapter in this unfolding royal history. Titles in the British monarchy are not simply honors, they are messages. They tell stories about duty, legacy, loyalty, and above all, about who matters, inside the palace and out. When Sir Timothy Laurence was promoted to Knight Grand Cross of the Royal Victorian Order in August 2025, it was not merely a nod to a lifetime of naval service, it was a statement, a gesture by King Charles III that his sister's husband, long without peerage or princely status, now stands among the most trusted custodians of the royal household. To understand the weight of this honor, we must first understand the order itself. The Royal Victorian Order is unlike many of Britain's other honors, which pass through committees and ministers before reaching the sovereign's hand. This order is personal. Created by Queen Victoria in 1896, it exists to reward service to the monarch or to the monarchy itself, directly, intimately, and often quietly. It is the king's own voice, and when he chooses to elevate someone to its highest rank, the Knight or Dame Grand Cross, he does so with deliberate intent. Sir Timothy's journey to this point is emblematic of modern royal service. Low profile, steadfast, unfailingly loyal. A naval officer, he first came into the royal sphere as an equerry to Queen Elizabeth II, a role that places a young officer in daily contact with the monarch. From 1986 to 1989, he served the Queen in a role that demanded precision, discretion, and trust. It was during this time that his connection with Princess Anne became the subject of speculation. His relationship was confirmed by a series of leaked letters, and in 1992, the two were married in a modest ceremony at Crathie Kirk, near Balmoral, away from the press, far from grandeur. Unlike Prince Philip, who became Duke of Edinburgh, or Prince Albert, who shared the title of Prince Consort, Timothy Laurence received no peerage upon marriage. He remained a commoner by status, albeit one with a knighthood. No His Holy Royal Highness, no seat at the Privy Council, just Sir Timothy, the naval man, beside the Princess Royal. And yet, for over 3 decades, he has stood at her side at investitures, ceremonies, tours, funerals, a near constant presence without the trappings of title. This new honor, then, is more than overdue. It is transformative. What does it mean for the monarchy? At a time when the institution is carefully redefining its image, streamlining its working members, adjusting to a post-Elizabethan era, this recognition signals continuity, but also adaptation. It shows that service, not birth, still matters. That a man who married into the family, kept his head down, served in silence, and walked respectfully behind the pomp can still be acknowledged at the highest levels. It is a subtle counterpoint to the drama of other royal narratives, those defined by rupture, exit, or public declarations of grievance. The contrast between Sir Timothy and other royal spouses is striking. Where others sought platforms, he embraced privacy. Where others courted cameras, he avoided them. His knighthood in the Royal Victorian Order, particularly the Grand Cross, places him in a rare echelon of royal confidants. He now ranks alongside household officials, royal courtiers, and a select few who have spent their lives ensuring the crown's machinery runs without fault or fanfare. It's not the sort of title that trends on social media. It is, however, the sort that resonates in the long corridors of Windsor and Sandringham. And there is another layer. This elevation may also reflect the king's personal view of his brother-in-law. Charles, like Anne, values loyalty above all. In a year where family strains are visible, from Prince Andrew's exile to the continued distance of Prince Harry, the monarch's act of recognizing Timothy Laurence is a kind of moral architecture, a way of reinforcing which relationships are rooted in duty, of underlining what royal conduct still looks like in a time when so many question it. It's worth noting, too, that Anne herself holds the title of Grand Master of the Royal Victorian Order, a role she has embraced with diligence. The honor granted to her husband thus binds them even closer within the same chivalric structure. While Anne is often called the hardest-working royal, attending hundreds of engagements per year, Timothy's role has been that of a shadow companion, present, supportive, but never overshadowing. The monarchy, with all its emphasis on hierarchy and presentation, rarely has room for those who dwell in the wings. But sometimes, the most profound contributions come from precisely those corners. There's also a generational message. In the modern world, the monarchy must walk a delicate line between tradition and relevance. Public scrutiny of its wealth, privilege, and perceived aloofness has never been sharper. Honors like the GCVO help recalibrate that image, not by rewarding spectacle, but by highlighting quiet endurance. Timothy Lawrence's life has been one of bridges, between military and court, between private man and public duty, between royal ceremony and civilian humility. Some will say that the honor is merely symbolic, that it changes nothing in the public's eye, that Sir Timothy remains a name few would recognize on the street. But that is exactly the point. In the theater of monarchy, not all roles are played under lights. The Royal Victorian Order, especially at its highest level, is given not for fame, but for fidelity. And in a family too often defined by scandal or spectacle, such fidelity is rare and deeply needed. And moreover, this elevation might hint at a broader trend. Might we see more honors for those who serve beside the spotlight, not within it? Could this be a subtle recalibration of how the monarchy rewards service, less about aristocratic lineage, more about character and contribution? If so, Timothy Laurence stands as the ideal case study, not a prince, not a peer, but a man who has been there, silently, dependably, through every change and every challenge. In the broader narrative of royal evolution, this knighthood reminds us that the crown survives not only through coronations and state occasions, but through the individuals who quietly preserve its dignity. Every wreath laid, every ribbon cut, every official duty carried out by Anne in her decades of service has been supported, logistically, emotionally, quietly, by the man who now bears the GCVO. As the monarchy moves into a new chapter, with King Charles at the helm and William and Catherine stepping into larger roles, the value of loyalty, discretion, and unflashy service cannot be overstated. The title granted to Sir Timothy is not just a medal on a chest, it is a reassurance that those virtues are still recognized, that in a world increasingly defined by noise, there is still honor in silence. And perhaps in the end, that is the message we should take from this moment. Not every royal story needs to be dramatic to be significant. Some unfold in the background, in steadfast presence, in shared duty, in a life built not on privilege, but on partnership. So, while others may dominate the headlines, Sir Timothy Laurence now holds a place of rare esteem, one earned not by spectacle, but by service. And as the crown continues to navigate the complexities of a modern era, his elevation is both a reflection of enduring values and a subtle lesson in how power is best held, with humility. If you found this journey into the quiet side of the monarchy insightful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Crownverse, where royal history isn't just retold, it's examined with care, context, and curiosity.